Good Saturday morning of the eighth week. I'm not going to look at the text for a second. I'm going to just go back to the one from Friday. Okay, just continue because I love that it said, "Whatever you ask for, believe and you'll receive it, and it shall be yours." And I just told you that story. So okay, I told you, but I can remember. I told you this story before, but every time I look at a ball scores, I think of years ago when the Red Sox were so hopelessly in third place, second place, but never first. Oh, you had to grow up in New Haven, where Yankee. That's a Yankee area, okay, because of DiMaggio. The Italians, especially, Joe DiMaggio. God, Phil Rizzuto, Yogi Berra. You had to know it, but also it was only 70 miles from New York. Hence, it was. By geography, we were Yankee fans. Hartford, interesting, is 60 miles north, 50 miles north. We're Red Sox fans. It's just interesting. Proximity to the ballpark, whatever. Anyway, I was reared a Yankee fan, in the neighborhood. But then I had the bad experience of going to Yankee Stadium for a baseball game with the Red Sox. The Red Sox won 6-3. Frank Sullivan was the pitcher. Jackie Johnson hit a home run. No, you know how many years ago that is? That's around, oh my gosh, 57, 58, 70 years ago, whatever, 65 years ago. And I walked in a Yankee fan and walked out a Red Sox fan. It was a curse. The Yankees won more World Series than the Sox used to get their brains knocked out. But I was praying for the Red Sox. But even I hesitated, and that's the story. Don't hesitate when you pray. You see what he said? Have faith in God. Whatever, if you say to the mountain, move, it'll move. But you got to have faith, and you have to be committed. Though I could move the mountain, I had no doubt I could move the mountain. What I couldn't do was get the Red Sox to win a World Series. It's the truth. I thought it was an impossibility. Even God couldn't get the Red Sox to win. I prayed for him, but I also said, I made an awful prayer in 57 or 58, around that time. You could check it out. The Red Sox put a great move on. I believe that's the year. Oh, no, maybe it was. What I was going to say, that the Williams win the Triple Crown. I forgot what it was. Whatever it was, Red Sox got scalding hot. They were really, really rolling. But the reason for it, I was making a novena to St. Anthony at St. Anthony's Church, and I was hammering them home. I really was. There was the truth. But even I thought the Red Sox simply cannot win. It's made into the nature of reality itself. Even God can't deliver them. So the very last day of the novena to St. Anthony, I said, let it be close. Did I tell you this story already? I probably did. I'm old. I keep telling the same stories. See, I hesitated. Let it be close. Well, God answered my prayer. It was close, all right. They were going like a bat out of hell until September and fell apart like a house of cards. God answered my prayers. He let it be close. If I said, deliver the bacon, pal, I would have got it. We'd have won the World Series. I once thought of writing to Tom Yawkey on the rest. I let him know how we lost that. It was my fault. 14-year-old kid, 15, whatever I was, 14. I even thought it's impossible. God can't even deliver the Red Sox against the Yankees. See? Anyhow, that's a cute story, but it's actually true. It's actually true. Oh, Lord. But in the order and the outfit, I learned how to pray. I learned how to enter into the great mystery of prayer. I learned how to accept the will of God in the sense of putting yourself, in the sense, the service of God, and allowing yourself to be taken up in its mystery and to make choices. See, we're not passive believers. We're not passively, is that right, obedient or obediently passive. And we're active. We are called to choose. We are called to make choices. We're called, but with always that profound proviso, your will be done. But I'm going to still choose. In many ways, I chose my career. Very many ways, yes. We're not called to be passive. God gave us both intelligence and will. He didn't tell us to suspend our will. And when we make a will choice, we do it twofold. What do you know to be the good you should choose, and choose it? Always again with the proviso, but not my will, yours be done. Just in case I got this wrong. See? You don't start with the divine will. You conclude with it. Your will be done. See? But I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna choose the best I can. I'm gonna choose my career. I'm gonna choose my life. See? I'm going to actively make choices and live it to the fullness of my ability. And live with the consequences, both positive and negative. Sometimes the choices are just not very, very productive, or they don't deliver what you wanted them to deliver in the great adventure. Always with that proviso. In the end, your will be done. Your will be done. And I take that to be truthful. You see, I don't like the idea, I'm rejecting the idea of religious passivity. Oh, it's God's will, whatever. Baloney. Grab it and run. Take command of your life. Choose and act on the choice. Don't dump it off on the Almighty, make him do your work for you. Choose, always knowing in the end the divine wisdom and love triumphs. And give yourself over to the divine love in trust, but at the same time, choose. I think of my own parents that way. I think they didn't ask for subservience, but I always knew they were there. And they would help me patch up my mistakes, but by God, I was going to choose my life. And they supported my choices, as they did my brother. I told you 100 times, but I felt called to the priesthood, and my aunt, Anita, told my mother, and she said, he's nuts. He's nuts. He'll never make it. He likes girls too much. But they supported me, and were very proud of me. But they also, I don't think he got a chance. He likes girls too much. See? Anyway, still here. See? It's interesting because they were so honest but supportive, you see. They didn't push me into it. I noticed this, what I'll share a thought with you. There were a lot of guys in the outfit, in the order, and I think in the diocesan clergy, who got pushed in by their families. There's a cult to the priesthood. There was, it didn't exist anymore, but there was a cult to the priesthood. Especially in some ethnic groups, they really put it on a pedestal. If their daughters become nuns, you could see whole families. I saw it in the order, where 3 or 4 guys, there were brothers, blood brothers, were priests in the outfit, and their sisters were nuns. You know, they got, in many ways, I'm hoping they were free and they made the choice out of their hearts, but I think in so many ways they got pushed into it. And what I saw over the years, especially during the crisis 60s, so many of the fellows left. They shouldn't have been there in the first place. And I hope they left, got married, and had good and rich lives. There is a culture, or a culture among certain elements of the Catholic ethnicities, that put it that way, that saw the priesthood as the highest thing, and also as something that rewards the family eternally. You hear that? You're guaranteed. I heard a guy say, one of the guys in the outfit said, you know, the parents of a priest, they go immediately to heaven, see, because their son's a priest. You know, oh, come on. You can imagine the pressure if they actually believe that crap, the pressure they put on that kid to be a priest. I lived in that. I saw that. My parents said I was nuts. It was the opposite. The opposite. And yet, I'm grateful because they didn't push me. I was drawn to it, not pushed into it. And I was free. I wasn't pressured at all. And I've never felt pressured. See, I felt it was my vocation. It's what I was called to, the great adventure. It wasn't my parents' adventure, it was mine. And then it became theirs, not the other way around. That's the truth. God doesn't coerce, he calls us to love. That's the truth. Just in Plato, the good is what we are called to. See? Just a thought.